You're paying $50, $80, sometimes over $100,000 a year for Procore, but your site teams are still using Excel. RFIs are being emailed, and cost reports are being rebuilt in spreadsheets. And when you ask for a project position, you don't fully trust the numbers. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. This is one of the most common situations we see, and the issue usually isn't Procore. It's how it was implemented and how it's being led inside the business. Most companies don't have a software problem. They have an alignment problem. Procore gets switched on, some training gets delivered, permissions are set up, generally in a bit of a hurry, and then everyone goes back to delivering projects the way they always have. But no one really stepped back and asked, does this system actually reflect how our business operates? Do the cost codes align with how we estimate? Do workflows match our real approval change? And are the reports answering leadership questions? Does this help the teams at the coalface get their job done better? If the answer is no to any of this, the teams will revert back to what feels safe. Usually that's Excel, Outlook, Word, or some of the other usual suspects that have given them comfort over the years of ingrained habit. The second issue is ownership. Who actually owns Procore in your business? Is it IT, accounts, project management team, or is it a little bit of everyone? Now, when everyone owns it, no one owns it. Without clear accountability, the platform slowly fragments. Different projects use it differently, standards drift, and data becomes unreliable, and then confidence drops. The third issue is leadership behavior, and often one of the more uncomfortable conversations. Software adoption is not a technical exercise. It is cultural. It's change management. If leadership still asks for spreadsheets, if meetings are still being run off Word printouts, and if leadership themselves isn't actually using and engaging on Procore, then the message is clear. Procore is optional, and your teams will respond accordingly. Now, here's the part most businesses underestimate. Procore adoption isn't just frustrating, it's expensive. You get double handling of information, more admin time, inconsistent financial visibility, weak audit trails, compliance exposure, and disputes where documentation is incomplete or scattered. You're paying for a single source of truth, but you're running 3 or more. That's where the real cost sits. So, what actually works? Well, first, we need to reset the foundation. This starts with correct alignment. It's the most important step in this process. Most companies put all the Procore tools up on the wall like pigeonholes and start asking questions. Where do we fit into this tool and that tool? But this is the complete opposite of the correct approach. The correct approach, ironically, is actually to not talk about Procore as you initially roll out Procore. Rather, to examine and document all of the functions and processes that your business undertakes to deliver success with projects. And this is a good exercise regardless if you're rolling out Procore or using a different system or just using manual systems. Then, with a deep understanding of Procore, which definitely comes with time and experience, you want to align the features and functionality into the requirements that you have. What this does is wrap Procore around your business instead of you trying to pigeonhole your business into Procore. From here, you can then effectively review the configurations properly, align cost structures, simplify workflows, remove tools that aren't being used, and customize to your specific requirements. Often, less is more. Second, we need to define ownership. You need to appoint a Procore champion or administrator. For larger businesses, probably both. You need to document governance, set clear internal standards, not just training, and you need to make sure there is full ownership. Third, you need to lead from the top. Management should only accept reports from Procore. If it's not in Procore, it simply doesn't exist. That changes behavior quickly. And management themselves need to walk the talk. If they need something actioned or they need to communicate, then it happens through Procore. No exceptions, no excuses. And finally, start small. Don't try and fix everything at once. Pick a priority area. Maybe it's design management, financial controls, site documentation, whatever makes sense for you guys. Get that right, build momentum, then expand. Whether it's your first step at rolling out Procore or your second or maybe your third, Be aware of how much change your team can handle at once. And importantly, make sure you have excellence in communication to your team. What is changing, when it's changing, and why it's changing. Now, on that last point, make sure you can clearly communicate the benefit of how this makes your team's work life better. It has to be relatable to them at an individual level. And please, never ever let a Procore user's first communication be a system-generated welcome to Procore access email. Nothing makes someone feel more disconnected and out of the loop than being treated with such poor levels of communication and engagement. If your teams aren't using Procore properly, it's rarely because they're resistant to technology, and it's certainly rarely because of Procore. It's usually because no one built the bridge between the software and how the business actually works. Procore doesn't fail, implementations do, and leadership decisions do. Once Procore is aligned properly, it becomes a serious operational advantage, not just another subscription. So if any of this sounds familiar and you're not sure whether you've got a configuration issue, an ownership issue, or just an adoption gap, feel free to reach out for a chat. We're always happy to have a practical conversation about where things are sitting and what might need adjusting. Absolutely no pressure from our end. Just a sensible discussion on whether Procore is actually supporting your business the way it should.